Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to Barb's Vault, where Overseer Barb is tasked me with teaching you everything that I know about Fallout 76. Yes, including you, Derek. And I'm going to try to make the most comprehensive guide that I can, so we're going to start off with beginner stuff, mid-game stuff, end-game stuff. Beginner stuff is things you can do right out of the vault to immediately start leveling up faster than if you were just to go out there and raw dog it. Okay, so starting off with some of the beginner stuff, we're going to go ahead and open up our Pip-Boy, and we're going to be looking for a certain perk card. Go ahead and open that guy up, go over to Charisma, and we're going to be looking for Inspirational. So you can see here, I have mine all the way leveled up. When you are on a team with others, gain 15% more experience. So this is a card that you can get very, very early on. I think you can get rank 1 at level 2, I want to say. So when you're on a team with others, you gain 5% more XP. So a very, very easy way to get passive XP boosts. Okay, so next up, we're going to go ahead and catch some Z's. I'm going to run into my base here. I'm going to hop in bed. So when you sleep for long enough, you're just going to automatically get that XP boost. And it should pop up in the top left-hand corner and just say Kindred Spirit. Okay, so next up, you're going to want to go ahead and join a casual team. So you can see right here, we have one fella in there, but you can see the base bonuses. So we have a +1, +2, +3, +4. So once you're in a group for long enough, you can see that our bonds are going up. That's going to give you another really great passive XP boost. One that you don't really have to think about. People may come and go in a team, but normally people are in the know and they actually want to join that to just get that little bit of XP boost. So just right off the bat, 3 very, very easy, very, very simple XP boosts to get. Things that you can do almost immediately. If you don't have a camp, you don't have a bed to set up, feel free to just like run to a house somewhere, catch some sleep in a bed somewhere, and you should be good to go. Okay, so we're back here at a punch machine at camp. Gonna take a look at my build here, and you can see all of my special points and where I have them allocated, but the most important one is intelligence. So the higher your intelligence, the more experience you're gonna get. Now you might be confused why I have it to 10. We're actually gonna take a look at my legendary perk cards, and you're gonna see why. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at how I have my perk cards set up. We're gonna go to legendary perks, and you can see here that I have a +5 to intelligence legendary perk card. So this means I can have my intelligence set to 15 without having to sacrifice the way I have my other special points allocated. So get the big brain going on. Okay, so on top of that, we're also going to take a look at our mutations. You can see here that I have on Egghead, which is intelligence +8, endurance -1, strength -1. Honestly, very much worth the sacrifice. The +8 to intelligence is just a thing of beauty. I actually have a video on how to go and get all these different serums and how you can actually just go buy them at the White Spring Bunker, but I'll link that in the description below. So you can see here we have a public event called Project Paradise. When you do an event, you get treasury notes. What you do with treasury notes is you go and you hand those in for gold bullion, and with gold bullion, you can go all the way over here to Foundation. So I actually covered a lot of this for like the new player XP bonuses video that I did a little while back. And I actually did a video on a lot of this leveling stuff, but I got a few key things wrong that I kind of wanted to go back and correct, so that way people will stop bullying me in the comments. So here at a gold press machine, that's where you would go to hand in your treasury notes. So remember, these treasury notes are an award that you get for doing an event. Right now I have 5 to hand in. I'm gonna go ahead and hand those in. We're gonna get 50 gold bullion. Okay, hand those bad boys in. Then we're gonna come up here and talk to our good friend Samuel. Opening up here, you can see that we can get a lunchbox for 100 gold bullion. So the fun part about this is that right now it says there's only 3. So we're going to go ahead, we're just going to go ahead and buy, let's just buy 1. We're going to leave his menu, we're going to turn around, look back at him, trade gold bullion again, and look at that. We still have 3 more to buy. So theoretically, the more you grind out events, you can just kind of buy lunchboxes in perpetuity, which if you don't want to give money to Bethesda, I would highly recommend doing this. If you just don't want to pay for Fallout First, or you don't want to spend money on Atoms, you can 100% buy these just by playing the game. So you can see now I only have 197 gold bullion, meaning that I can only buy one of these guys. But what if I want to buy more? Again, this is another thing where if you are dedicated to grind out in this game, you can do all these things for free. We're going to go ahead and open our map here, and just south of Vault 76, you're going to see a little inn/bar called the Wayward. We're going to go ahead and travel there. Okay, so we're at the Wayward. Like I said, it's just south of Vault 76, you will literally cross this bridge. And this is one of the very first things that you can do in the game right when you spawn in. Okay, let's go ahead and pop on in. Okay, so spawning in here, we're going to walk past both the counters, walk past our ghoul friend over there, head up the stairs. We're going to find my boy Smiley. Going to go ahead and interact with him. And just to let you know, the exchange rate for caps to gold bullion, it is rough. So we're going to go ahead and go say we're interested. And you can see here that you can get a max of 300 gold bullion for 6,000 caps. That's not an amount of caps to, turn your nose up at. That's quite a bit of money. But let's say that you've been grinding it out. You've got tons of stuff you've been selling in your own store. You hit your daily cap limit, all that good stuff, and you got the money to spend. You can absolutely do that. Otherwise, you can continue to just do events and to get treasury notes and do that. But let's say there's something that you really want right this second, and you just have to have it. Go ahead. You know what? I got the money. We'll spend 6,000 caps on this guy. All right, so we've got 300 more gold bullion. Boom. So like I said, not the greatest exchange rate. So now that we've spent just a ridiculous amount of money on gold bullion, we're going to head back over to Foundation really quick. So back here at Foundation, we're talking to Samuel. Going to go ahead and open up his trade menu here. Going to go all the way down to the last option for me, which is the Nuka Cola Collectron. Now, the reason why I recommend spending the 1,250 gold bullion on this is because this little guy can find you a ton of Cranberry Nuka Cola. And the reason why we want Cranberry Nuka Cola is because you can just drink it, give yourself an XP boost, or you can hand it in to an ally at your camp and get an even larger buff from that. The other reason why I recommend this is because Cranberry Nuka Cola is exceptionally rare, and it's a huge pain in the ass to go out there and to find it. And more than likely, somebody's actually already gone there and gotten stuff because they couldn't afford this to begin with. So I would say just go ahead and save up for this, grab it. It's an absolute lifesaver. We're going to take a look at it back at the camp. Okay, so back here in my camp, we're going to go ahead and look inside of my Nuka Cola Collectron right here. See, he's just gathered tons of stuff, but most importantly, Nuka Cola Cranberry. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone out to look for these things. I just can't quite remember where they're at. So I'm running around an area over and over and over again to try and find it. Way easier to just have this little guy go out there and get it for yourself. Okay, so opening up my inventory here, we're going to go ahead and go over to Food and Bev. And we're going to look for Nuka Cola Cranberry. 10 of these sweet, sweet baby boys. But like I said, you can just go ahead and pop that cap, take a drink of that, give yourself a nice little XP boost. But we don't want to do just that. We want to get a larger XP boost. So if you happen to have, and this is probably a little bit of a rarity if you do have this at this point, Leo. Going to go ahead and place Leo down. Wait for him to spawn in here, wherever he comes from. There he is. Okay, so we got the Nuka Cola Cranberry. We're going to go ahead and talk to him. Say I'm in need of your service. I have a Nuka Cola for you, Leo. He'll give you a nice list of all the Nuka Colas that he would want. We see Nuka Cola Cranberry. So we're going to give this to him a little bit later on just to see how good of an XP boost we get. But he's an absolutely fantastic companion. And if you've been playing for a little while here, there's a chance you might have him if you were like in a previous season or something like that. But again, this is like sort of more of a mid-game-ish technique for getting an XP boost. Okay, so then step 2, we're going to be diving into a wider world, and that's the world of food buffs. So the thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that I have a certain mutation, which is very, very, very handy, called Herbivore. So eat veggies but not meat with no disease for 2x benefits. So I actually did a video on mutations a little while back. You can find that in the top right hand corner right now. So that kind of dives in more into what mutations are and how you can mitigate the negative side effects of them and to really gain a lot from just having them. So in that video, I explained where to go get those, how to get the recipes, all that good stuff. So with that being said, we're going to be looking for plant-based foods. So those two foods are going to be brain bombs and cranberry relish. And we're going to dive into where to get those recipes and how to craft them right now. So we're actually here at the White Spring Mall. We're going to head down this hallway and we're going to find this room with these pink pillars right here in a little cafe called Le Grand Gourmand. Shockingly good French, I know. So we're going to be looking for our boy Antoine here. Going to go ahead and trade with him. So the important thing to keep in mind for Antoine is that his inventory does change on a day-to-day basis. So you can see here we don't have the recipes that I'm looking for, but you can server hop until you actually find the ones that you need or come back a different day. And eventually you will come across them. Okay, so still here at the White Spring, we're going to go head over to the cooking station and we're going to take a look at these recipes. We're going to go down here into plants. We're going to see brain bombs right here. So the effects we're going to be getting here is plus 9 HP, plus 12 action points for 25 seconds, but a 7.5 to intelligence for an hour and a half. And then next up is the Cranberry Relish, plus 6 HP, plus 8 action points, plus a 25% XP boost for an hour. So don't forget, going back over here to Herbivore, eat veggies but not meat with no disease for 3x the benefits. So think about all those benefits we're getting from those recipes. Now times that by 3. You're going to be raking in a crazy amount of experience points with this. Okay, so let's dive into finding the ingredients for brain bombs and Cranberry Relish. First up, we'll go with brain bombs. These are relatively simple, especially if you know where everything's at. You can go through and repeatedly farm these things to like your heart's content. So we need brain fungus, mothman eggs, purified water, sugar bombs, and then wood. We have tons of that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head over to Point Pleasant. Okay, so spawning here at Point Pleasant, we're going to go ahead and hook an immediate right. Gonna look for this building right here. So you're going to want to go ahead and head up these stairs. I won't. I'm just going to go ahead and jump. All of my sweet, sweet, sweet mutations. So you're going to have a lot of cultists over here. And they throw a lot of fire, a lot of flame at you. So we're going to be looking in this room for sugar. Have one right there. Make sure you check underneath of the beds and stuff like that. More sugar, even more sugar. And one more up here. But just make sure you're paying attention because sometimes they can kind of be blown around if there's enemies around. So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and head back out the same door that we entered through. Head down here. And we're going to be looking for the Mothman egg. So again, be weary of the cultists because they will throw Molotovs at you. And those do a pretty nasty amount of damage. And then right here in front of this shrine to said Mothman are some of his eggs, which is way grosser if you think about it. Alright, just need to grab a few because realistically these will go bad in your inventory, so there are a few places that we can get sugar bombs from, and you need to make sure that you have like the irradiated old world kind as opposed to like the fresh and new looking ones because they are technically two different items. Okay, so spawning in over here at the New River Gorge Bridge. I'm going to go ahead and head underneath of the bridge right here. Walk along the side here. I'm going to look for this door. So like I was saying before, you actually have to complete a quest to get the key for this door. So a lot of people don't come through here and pick this. But we head right in here, found some power armor, which who needs that? We're going to grab over here. Boom. Some sweet, sweet sugar bombs. Going to show you a couple more locations here as well. Ones that are way more accessible, I would say. We're going to go way over here to Mosstown. So way out east. Okay, so right when we come in, we're going to immediately hook a left. Looking for this building right here on the outskirts of town. So enter in any side of the building that you want, but you need to be looking for a bathtub. I normally just go up and over. Boom, right in here. Sugar bombs. Right here with a very, who I'm assuming was a lovely person's corpse. So next up, we're going to go ahead and head over to the Flatwoods. This is just south of Vault 76, so you should have access to this basically immediately. Let's go ahead and head over there. So right when we walked down the road from Vault 76, we're going to be looking for this building right here. Let's go ahead and head over here to the chapel. Now, you could go through the front door and find the stairs like an absolute pleb, or you can have just a crazy amount of drugs and jetpacks and mutations and just jump right up to the roof. Right here. Now, normally I feel like you can find one or two here. Right now we only have the one. But yeah, some great locations for sugar bombs. So next up is brain fungus. So you can either go to the Wendigo Cave right here, or you can go to the completely safe, zero risk of death location of the Rusty Pick. We're going to go ahead and head in there. There's a chance that you've already encountered this. This is a place where you can go and trade in legendaries, get legendary modules, all that good stuff. And we're going to spawn right inside. Okay, so spawning in here, you can see first thing on the wall is some brain fungus with zero risk to you from dying or having to worry about the outside elements. Okay, so last but not least is getting boiled water. So what I do, I actually have these nifty little rainwater collectors. They are an atomic shop item, but you don't have to have this. You can go and collect dirty water from somewhere else. I'm gonna go ahead and snag these guys. Come back in here. And all you got to do is just boil this. Okay, so we have all the ingredients for brain bombs, but before we craft them, we're going to go ahead and get the stuff for cranberry relish. We already have the boiled water, we have the sugar because we got that at Point Pleasant while getting the Mothman eggs, and we got tons of wood. So we're going to be looking for cranberries and gourd. So gourd is actually, funnily enough, the bane of my existence. So I built a camp way up here, up north. I put a bunch of gourd plants up there, but it's constantly getting nuked, so I'll have like 9 gourd ready to pick. They get nuked, and then I'm SOL. But conveniently, I've placed my camp just a little bit north of Lewis & Sons Farming Supply, and the reason why I'm so excited about that is because this is actually a natural spawn point for gourd. You look right in here, boom. Beautiful, beautiful gourd. Okay, so spawning here at the General Steakhouse. You can see over here I've died a million times because there were alien invaders, and they were just fully bodying me. But we're going to run over here to the north. We're going to be looking for a very lovely double wide trailer. In there, we're going to find some gourd. And I'm going to go ahead and recommend that when you grab this gourd, that you have green thumb on, and then you actually plant some of this at your camp, because it can be a huge pain in the ass to go and find this. Okay, so next up we're going to be finding cranberries. And so there's a good little cranberry bog over here, and these two spots can be a little bit hairy, but I'm going to go over here first to the Creekside Sundew Grove. Okay, so like I said, things can get pretty hairy over here, so we're going to run in and we're going to run out. But you're going to be looking for some, they're relatively vivid, they're kind of easy to spot. Cranberries, and we got some scorched in here. We're just going to ignore those guys. So boom, cranberries, got 2 for my trouble. 4, 6. That's really about all you need. So before we craft that, we're going to make sure the super duper is on. It is. Gonna go ahead and craft some of these guys. Okay, so the reason why I craft with super duper on is because I actually have a refrigerator that will stop food from spoiling so quickly. You can also have the perk good with salt, which will also help kind of mitigate that pretty quick decay. Brain bombs. And it looks like super duper did pop off, so we should have a few of these guys, probably 2. Let's take a look. Yep, 2 of those. Gonna go ahead and transfer this dude in here. So coming up next, we're going to be talking to our boys who love to party. And by that, I mean we're going to be crafting some sweet drugs. So the 2 chems you're going to want to keep in mind here are Mentats and Berry Mentats. You cannot craft Berry Mentats without Mentats. So we're going to go into how to get the recipes for these things, and then how to craft them, and how to really game the system so that way you can just get an insane amount of Berry Mentats. And for that, you're going to have access to the White Spring Bunker. So I found the most surefire way to get them was to go into the White Spring Bunker and to buy them from the Modus Medical Terminal. Now you can get them as random drops from various events, or you can buy them from chance encounters with certain traders, but I found that this is the easiest way to just go ahead, get in there and buy it. Unfortunately, you do have to complete a little bit of the storyline here, so keep that in mind that you do need to do some of the Enclave story in Fallout 76 in order to have access to this location. And I don't want to spoil any of that, so make sure you go out there and you experience that for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and go on into the White Spring Bunker, and this place can be a little bit of a maze, so feel free to pause the video or slow it down to follow me through this bunker. Heading on in. Okay, so first when we come in, we can see that we need to head to this door that has a key card. So again, you have to complete that storyline. Gonna go ahead and move on in. And we're gonna see a nice, tantalizing button right here to press. Boom. Gonna open up this vault door. I think this was like maybe supposed to be like a showcase of what a vault was, but who knows. The fascist government back then was up to all kinds of crazy, wacky, zany things. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and head on in. And we're going to go ahead and go to our left, and we're going to find these elevators. Open these bad boys up. Head on down. So right when we come out, we're going to be looking for signage on the wall. So you look over here, we have admissions. We've already done that, so we don't want to do that. We come over here. We see all of these instructions. One is for the medical bay. Going to go ahead and head down here. And then take an immediate right. I'm going to see these terminals right here. So one of the Enclave's other various presidents or authority figures who is also a computer, we're going to go ahead and talk to him. And then in here, you're going to see all these recipes for these fun little items. So you can see here, recipes for Mentats and Berry Mentats. Obviously, I've already purchased them, so you'll need to go ahead and buy these things. And make sure whenever you're buying things, you have the hard bargain perk on. Just going to go ahead and take a look at that. Going to drop inspirational just for a moment and hard bargain. Take a look at these prices again. And you can see they've gone down just a little bit. But, you know, when you're a very early game, you're just trying to scrape together every single cap that you can. But definitely a nice little consequence of having that one on. Okay, so back here at camp, we're going to go ahead and go into our chemistry station. We're going to look at our Berry Mentats. So we got here the drugs. We have the formulas, the plans. We need brain fungus, carrot flower, fire cap. And then for Berry Mentats, we need brain fungus, firecracker berry, mentats, so important to have those already crafted, and then starlight berries. So you can see here in the berry mentats, we have a 4.3 to our intelligence for 5 minutes, as opposed to the mentats 1.72 intelligence for 5 minutes. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting more berry mentats and using those when you're grinding out leveling. Okay, so crafting mentats is actually rather straightforward. You're gonna need brain fungus, carrot flower, and fire cap. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to find all those guys right now. So way up north here at the Palace of the Winding Path, we're going to find a crazy amount of carrot flower. Okay, and before we head in here to actually, do some harvesting, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our perk cards. We're going to want to make sure that we have on Green Thumb. So reap twice as much when harvesting flora. So this is a great way to just kind of blow through your gathering process. But coming up here, we just have to worry about, sometimes there can be ghouls. If there was just recently an event that pops up here, which I believe is called the Path of Enlightenment. We're going to go ahead and run past all of these guys. And realistically, you can find these plants kind of out in the wild. You don't necessarily just have to come up here. But I just know that they're always going to be here, and they're probably not going to be picked, so... Boom, boom, boom. And here we go, wild carrot flower. So we harvested 2 there, and that's because of the green thumb perk. Yeah, just going to get a bunch of these dudes, because like I said, we're going to want to craft a bunch of these in one go. So normally you would need to worry about things, kind of expiring in your bag. Everything's got a shelf life. But when it comes to mentats and berry mentats, you don't need to worry about that. So I always focus on crafting just an insane amount of them all in one go. And then normally I can be good for a few months sometimes. I've crafted some pretty ridiculous amounts of mentats in my life. Could you say that I'm exactly like Walter White? Maybe. Okay, so next up, we're going to look for brain fungus. So the place that I always go to is the Wendigo Cave. There are other locations that are, a little bit more safe, but I'm pretty high level, so I don't need to worry about it too much. Run right here into this cave. And looking here at the wall, we're going to be looking for these very brainy looking fellas. Keep it going. Like I said, we're going to grab a bunch of these because we want to craft a ton of these guys. Like I said, be careful because there will be mirelurks and there will be more ghouls. And just some dead folks who are definitely just trying to outrun the blast of the bombs. The reason why I come here is just because I know there's a ton. And I have on the green thumb perk, so again, just getting a bunch. But yeah, these are pretty easy to spot throughout the caves here. They kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, and so then next up is fire caps. And these ones can be a little bit painful to find, but I'm going to show you a couple different places I normally go to get them. Okay, so I always come to the monorail elevator, and we'll see if I'm lucky enough to actually find these. This is right where you spawn in at, so just go ahead and follow me along here. Feel free to slow down the video, backtrack, but make sure you leave a like and a subscribe because, this is YouTube and I want them to like me. Head all the way back over here to the back, and we're going to find one very unlucky fella who was really just snoozing for the end of the world. But yeah, we can see right here, 1 fire cap, 2nd fire cap, dead guy. Okay, and so then over here at Slocum Joe's, which is just a little bit southeast of Vault 76, spot 1, fire cap over here. Slocum Joe's right there. Over here, and again, I believe this one will interact with the Green Thumb perk card. Yeah, there we go. And there's a few more here that we can spot. Then again, still here at Slocum Joe's, right behind this bus right here, we got a couple more. And again, that green thumb perk going to work for us. 3 there. And I think we can find a few more just a little bit southeast of here. Gonna be looking for a house over here, right over yonder. So again, Slocum Joe's right down there. See this yellow house with some settlers here. And I believe, yep, here we go. Should be just a few more around this area. Let's take a look. Kill these bloatflies. Another one right here. Ooh, another one over here. And we're making out like bandits right now. There's probably another one that I'm not remembering the location of. Okay, so then going to the train tracks, heading north. I believe more spawn this direction. Okay, let's take inventory really quick. We have 22 fire caps, so pretty decent amount. And again, you can always world hop to see if you can't find just a few more. Oh, another one right here. See, I believe if you just keep along these train tracks, they can kind of spawn hectically, kind of willy-nilly all over the place. But again, they do stick out pretty well, so you should be able to spot them rather easily. Okay. Let's take one final inventory here, 26 fire caps. All right. You know what? I think that's enough for demonstration's sake, so why don't we go ahead and head back to camp and craft some of these regular-ass mentats. Okay, so right now we have 8 mentats. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we have the super duper perk card on. We do. So when you craft anything, there's a 30% chance you'll get double the results. Okay, so keep that number in mind. We had 8. Go ahead to drugs, mentats. Already looking beautiful. Let's see. Ooh, super duper popped off. Let's see what new we got here. 51 mentats. Just lunacy. That is an insane amount of mentats. Okay, so the great thing is we have all these mentats, so as long as we get all of the ingredients for our berry mentats, we're only being held back by the amount of regular mentats we have. So all we need now is starlight berries, firecracker berry, and brain fungus. Now, as we've shown in this video, it's very easy to come across brain fungus. The more annoying ones are firecracker berries and starlight berries. So normally where I go to for my firecracker berries is right here at Solomon's Pond. Let's go ahead and head over there. Okay, so right when you come in, there's going to be some little floaty boys over here. Take care of those guys. Be very, very annoying. You saw a wild carrot over here as well. Wait for this guy to pop out. Come on. Take him down. I just like to take care of them immediately so I don't have to worry about them and worry about potentially getting knocked. But we have firecracker berry right there. We still have on green thumb, so we're still getting a good amount of harvesting there. But yes, so we're gonna look all around for those firecracker berries. I believe there's some more over here, and these ones kind of blend in with the rest of the environment, so it can be a little bit annoying. Boom. But yeah, if you get close to these things, they can just kind of explode, and then they're going to be valueless. I believe if we come over here onto this side of town, we're going to find just a little bit more. I have another floater popping out here in a second. Nope, we're good, I guess. All right there. I feel like I want to say there's some down here. One right there. Okay, so for this next one, you're going to get very heavily irradiated, so I popped into my Chinese stealth armor, and we're going to head into here, called the Deep, which is just a little bit southeast of Vault 76, and it can get pretty hairy in here, so follow along. And while we're in here, we can actually kill 2 birds, 1 stone, some more brain fungus. But there are cave crickets in here, which are a absolute menace. If you're not paying attention, they can get you pretty quick. Get a few more of these guys right here. All right, we're going to dive in. I believe this is going to be the right path, so let's go. Swim, swim, swim. This is the most nerve-wracking thing for me about getting these, because I absolutely am terrified of water and the awful things it can do to you. All right, so pretty straightforward. Feel free to slow down the video and follow on that path. But we're going to be looking for a very special kind of berry in here. Again, watch out for the cave crickets. All right, so we have these dudes right here, Starlight Creepers. And they drop Starlight Berries. And we have Green Thumb on, so that way we don't have to spend nearly as much time down here, because it is an absolute nightmare zone down here. But a very decent amount of Starlight Creepers. And you can continue along this path to get even more once you get into this Chinese communist holdout down here. And I believe one of the story missions should bring you down here naturally anyways. Well, there's brain fungus. Oh, cave cricket just scaring me to death. Continue along here. 2 birds, 1 stone. Brain fungi. I would rather get them from here than have to go back out and find them all over again. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of resistance here, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we're just going to clear out the resistance here. We came from that stairwell right there. Lots of liberators. But you can run along here and find more Starlight Creepers. Grab those sweet, sweet berries. If I wasn't completely out of action points, I'd be doing a lot better here. There we go. Let's see what else we got here. But yeah, you can kind of find them smattered all throughout this communist base. And you know what? I think we grabbed enough for demonstration's sake. So why don't we head back to camp to craft some of these boys. Okay, let's go ahead and check how many we have. We already have 21 berry mentats in inventory. Gonna go ahead and open back up our perk cards, make sure that we have super duper on, and then chemist. You get double the quantity when you craft chems. All right, let's go ahead and get some of these boys rolling. Keep that amount in mind. Stack of 16. Super duper did pop. We have 56 berry mentats. Like I said, you can just get an insane amount of these chems and you're going to be rolling in it. Realistically, I could do more. You can always go back out, grind out some more, and you can just have enough to keep you through for a full month. Okay, so this next one's going to be super endgame, very grindy. You've completed all the story missions, and you have to have access to Vault 79, way up north here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and travel there. Okay, and then once you're here, you're going to want to go ahead and go into this very nifty secret little bunker. And like I said, the story mission will just bring you here naturally, so you've already been down here before. Okay, so right when you spawn in here at Vault 79, you're going to want to leave this elevator and immediately look for our boy Regs, who's always chilling over here looking super cool. Look at that guy. And we're going to be looking for the Secret Service armor plans. So this is where things get super grindy at the end game. So Secret Service armor is hands down the best in the game. But the even more difficult part than that is you have to re-roll it to get Unyielding on every piece. So I believe each limb is 750, but the chest piece being 1,250. Now you can get the Secret Service helmet piece, but it serves no functional purpose. It doesn't give you any benefits, so you would just be wasting money getting it. So make sure you just get the limbs and the chest piece. Then you have to go through and actually use legendary modules and all that good stuff to try and re-roll to get Unyielding. So luckily enough for me, I've actually already gone through this whole process. It took a very long time. You can see here, gain up to +3 to all special stats except for endurance when your health is low. And this is very much geared towards a bloodied build. So when you see people with very low health like this, very irradiated, that's the reason why. So each of these pieces all give me that benefit. Okay, and so this is where we're really going to get some of like the, you kind of had to be there to get these things. I'm going to go ahead and come over here and talk to Steven Scarberry. Talk to him. Going to say we're in need of your services. Can I get a Mothman blessing? Oh, holy Mothman. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what that does to us boost-wise. We have Blessing of the True Mothman. Bonus XP of 5%. So we're going to take this even a step further, and we're going to go ahead and break out our other companion, Leo. Okay, so I'm here at my other camp, and we have Leo placed right here. Normally he'll kind of come back there every now and again, but I think he's right here. Gonna go ahead and talk to him, and this is where the Nuka-Cola Collectron really comes in handy. I'm in need of your services. I have a Nuka-Cola for you, Leo. We're gonna give him a Nuka-Cola Cranberry. We're gonna go ahead and see what we got here for that XP gain as well. Nuka Inspiration Cranberry bonus 5% XP. So we can stack both of those guys, and then we're going to go ahead and take a little nap in my homeless encampment, just right here on the ground. You feel rested. Okay, let's take a look at that as well. So already we have a pretty decent amount of XP boost going on. Okay, so far we have the Mothman Blessing, Casual Team bonus, Nuka Inspiration, and then rested for 59 minutes, we're going to get 5% XP. So we have 15% bonus XP just from doing these few little tasks. Okay, so now we're going to head over to WesTek and we're going to pop all these off at one time. Going to go ahead and enter into WesTek. Ignore that photo. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and pop off our lunchboxes. We're going to pop off 4 of them. You can stack 4. Make sure you don't do any more than that, because otherwise you're just wasting your lunchboxes. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and take our brain bombs, our cranberry relish, and we're going to pop a mentat, a berry mentat that is. Go ahead and run back in here. And then remember, we have all of our unyielding gear. So we just have a crazy amount of boost going on here. We're going to take a look at our special. We have a plus 50 to your intelligence. Let's pop in here and see what kind of damage we can do. Let's right off the bat, killing Super Mutant Hound. 755. This Super Mutant right here, 1,500. Almost 1,600. Just insane levels of experience growth. So I know that this can be kind of tedious to get down at first, but once you have everything learned, you know where all the roots are, you have all these things down to a T, kind of like I have, this is going to become second nature. And honestly, this is one of those kind of experiences in the game where I can just shut my brain off, put a YouTube video on my second monitor, and just kind of like run through WesTek over and over again. And let's see how much we're getting even with only having 3 people on our team here. 1570 still. So we had a guy drop out, which is like the most annoying thing in the world. If you join my team in Fallout 76, I expect you to stay in that team until everybody in your bloodline dies. And then, I may be mistaken here, but I think we can get a little bit more if we become even more irradiated. So if you want to do like some crazy stuff here and you want to like just craft a bunch of, you know, nuke grenades and you want to run in here and just kind of toss them around, you can really get some XP going, just like some insane stuff. You can repeat this area over and over again. So even here with a little bit of more radiation going on, we are getting, don't kill me buddy, almost 1,700 XP. So if we were to add Live and Love 3 to the mix, we're probably going to be getting even closer to around 2,000, which is the maximum amount of XP that you can get from one enemy. So now imagine this during double XP weekends. You're going to be popping off on the scoreboard over and over and over again. You'll be hitting that repeatable quest every single time. Now, I would not recommend playing the game like this all the time because, like I said, it is kind of a psychotic way to play it, but weirdly enough, I'm the kind of person that just loves repeating the same task over and over again. It's just that primal itch in my brain. And like I said, if we added Live and Love, we would be getting probably closer to like 1,700-ish. Somewhere around that range, and the maximum amount that you can get from a single enemy in the game is 2,000. And during a double XP weekend, you could be getting almost 4,000 XP per Super Mutant. Just an absolute insane amounts of XP. So if you're trying to like make a different build, if you're trying to just grind out the scoreboard, this is the #1 way to do it. And a part of me believes the reason why they have not taken this out is just because they kind of like that people do this. I would love to see the stats of how many Super Mutants have been killed by players in this game, because it's got to be in the billions at this point. But we're going to run through this room really quickly so I can show you a super quick way to just completely refresh every enemy in this section. And the big thing you need to watch out for is the Super Mutant Hounds. because they can do melee damage to you that will just entirely mess up your entire life. I forgot to change out my super duper to critical savvy. There we go. Okay, so just to double check our intelligence here. Dude, 54 intelligence. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't get better than that. It doesn't get any better. Yeah, 54 level intelligence, and you can see how quickly we're ranking up on the scoreboard. I like to clear every single super mutant in the building before I run down to the lower levels to really quickly respawn every single enemy in the building. Okay, so the trick that I normally do, and I know that people say you can just go out the front door and just kind of hang out there. I'm the kind of person that likes to keep doing something. So I go downstairs to the FEV production facility and I just clear out every super mutant there, go back up to the top, and just repeat to my heart's content. Okay, gonna kill this dude. Double check. Suicide right there. Stop that dude. He's usually the one that gets me. No, 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 you don't. No, you don't. I could tell you wanted it, but you weren't good enough. Ooh, last bullet even. So as you can see, I'm really, flying really close to the sun here with how irradiated I am. But it's worth it for more XP. Open up. Goodbye. Okay. And if you're kind of new to running WesTek over and over again, you can actually pick up a lot of this stuff and just scrap it, so that way you have basically unlimited steel. Okay, then the trick is we're going to head back up here, and sometimes a super mutant respawns right there. Okay, when we go back upstairs, everyone should be respawned. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, buddy. Got ourselves a nice little glowy boy right there. So yeah, this trick, you can infinitely respawn super mutants over and over and over again. And you can really just rack up a lot of experience. Got a legendary over here from this guy. So yeah, basically, I never run out of legendaries to turn in. Like, it's just a constant flow from running WesTek over and over again. Just like through, war of attrition, basically. But yeah, that is basically everything that I do to really prepare to just come in power level. If I feel like I've kind of done everything that I needed to do for the day, and I feel like I can really quickly run this course and like kind of this treadmill of gathering these items and crafting them and all that good stuff, I'll just come and craft all these things and just really quickly run through this place and just get a crazy amount of XP. Okay, so just to recap everything we talked about beginner level, intermediate, and end game. So we talked about all the things you can do right out of the vault to immediately start getting an XP boost. We talked about things that we can do kind of around mid-game, getting the recipes for Cranberry Relish, Brain Bombs, Mentats, and Berry Mentats. We talked things that are more specific, like already having the allies, Steven Scarberry and Leo. We talked about the benefits of getting your Lunchboxes and the Nuka Collectron. And then we talked about the very end game task of getting Secret Service Unyielding armor. So with all that being combined, you're going to be an absolute unstoppable juggernaut out there in Appalachia. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, and that if you did, make sure you like and subscribe. I love you boys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you out there in the wasteland.